Hi there, and welcome to the Jeremy Swenson Racing Channel. I'm Jeremy, and I'm not very creative. Behind me is my 2001 Corvette Z06, and this series, including today's video, is going to be documenting my build of it into a race car. So it already is sort of a race car. It's got a cage in it and a few things, but we've decided to basically start from nothing. So I've stripped it completely, and we're going to start over basically and make sure it's what I want it to be. A little bit about me. Here's my 2011 ZR1 Corvette. You've maybe seen it before. We've had some pretty good success with this car. We've gone racing all over the country, done several different series. Most notably and most recently, we've won a couple high-profile autocrosses that were came with big checks. One is the Optima World Challenge Autocross. Excuse me, World Championship Autocross. I'm gonna get that wrong every time. We just won that this fall at COTA in Texas, and that one came with a check for 25 grand. And then we also won King of the Mountain in 2019 in Pennsylvania. That's put on by a company called UMI. They make awesome parts for mostly older muscle cars. We've been really fortunate with this car. We've had a lot of success, won lots and lots of races. We've had so much fun. I've met so many awesome people, and we've got to travel the country because of it. So with those checks, we've decided we want to go wheel-to-wheel racing, and that's what this here turd Corvette is for. We got this car out of California. It was already a race car, but really it needed everything, in my opinion. It just wasn't good enough. Nothing was really done that well. The cage is pretty good. It's got some decent welds and pretty decent design, and most importantly, I think my big fat body can fit inside of it. So I think I'll be able to squeeze in over there. I've got a Kirky seat just ready to get in there, so that'll be in a video in the future. So anyway, like I said, we've stripped it to nothing. Got all the GM wiring out of it. Every computer, all the garbage you don't need is now out of it, and we're going to start building from nothing here. So the car has an LS1, and we're going to continue using that engine, but we're going to put some cool comp upgrades in it, and an intake and this and that, some different rockers. We're going to go down that road a little bit. We'll do a cool build series on the engine. The car already had a fuel cell in it. It looks a little ratty, so we're just going to put some bed liner around the tin on the outside, and then we'll just leave the bladder as is inside. And I did replace the fuel pump already inside, just to be cautious. Over here we've got the subframes, some enormous sway bars. I don't know who spec'd out this sway bar, but it's about the size of my leg, and I'm a big guy. But we've got some old school Willwood brakes on it that we're gonna hopefully sell to some hot rodder guy, and we're gonna upgrade to some new Willwood stuff. And basically the whole car is gonna get rebuilt. So one way or another, we're gonna hopefully get this thing done within a couple months. Our first scheduled event is start of March at COTA for the first GLTC race. That's Gridlife Touring Cup. They race a wheel-to-wheel series. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it looks like a blast. We've done a bunch of Gridlife races ourselves, and we've had a lot of fun. We've won tons of track mod races, and in the red car. So our goal is to be hopefully competitive in this thing. It's a little different than the standard, what you'd expect in that series. It's kind of a okay, I can't not say it, ricer. It's a ricer series mostly. 4-cylinder Japanese cars mostly, a lot of Hondas, a lot of Miatas, things like that. But we're gonna take the old fat American V8 route. It will make too much horsepower, thanks to Comp and Fast and a bunch of other great companies. It will make too much horsepower, but we're gonna control that. We'll take care of that to get down to where we need to be. And A little more about the car. We've got a T56 over here. At some point it was built by RPM Transmissions, but whoever did it this time, and I can't imagine it was RPM, didn't do a great job. So that's why it's kind of spread out on the table here. I'm going to do my best to get it back together here pretty soon, and that'll be one of the first videos you see is me trying to put that transmission back together. I'll probably have to do time lapse because otherwise you'll be watching for hours as I try and figure it out, because it's my first transmission that I've taken apart myself. So we have tons of cool parts that are going to be going on this car. We have a lot of sponsors we'll be able to thank throughout these videos. It'll be fun to look back at in the future. We're going to put, I just decided last night, we're going to put an ABS system on the car. So you'll get to see me plumb a full ABS system. It's a Bosch unit, excuse me, it's a BMW unit. It's like MK60 or something is what it's called. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that should be pretty neat. We're going to put that on the car. You'll be able to see that, and you'll probably be able to see a lot of the highs and lows involved in racing. This is a passion for so many of us. I've been so fortunate to meet so many cool people around the country as we travel that share the same passion of cars and racing, and you'll be able to see probably a lot of the highs and lows because it usually is a roller coaster. Like I said, with the red car, I've had a lot of success, but that success has come with a lot of tough work, a lot of difficulties, challenges, and usually that's what makes it so sweet when you do win. Because I don't care what you're racing, almost any type of racing, winning is not easy. And I'm well aware that this C5 car in the GLTC class won't just be an easy win, that is for sure. It's going to be a big challenge against some really fast drivers in some really fast cars. So I'm hoping that the choices we make on the car with the parts we put on it is fast, and I'm hoping that we're able to stay up near the top. But there's only one way to find out, and hopefully you're coming with me to find out. So if you like this type of content and are interested, please consider subscribing, share with your friends if you don't mind. If they're into cars especially, that would be probably helpful. And if they're not, maybe this is a good chance to get them into cars. Although maybe you don't want to do everything I do. I'm not necessarily the world's best fabricator, and I'm not the most anal or typical car guy where everything has to be perfect. I'm more of a let's get it done and move on, and it's good enough. So you'll be watching as I go through everything. I'm not the world's best welder, but I should be able to stick two pieces of metal together. So, hey, look, I don't have a hat on. So yeah, really all that's left now is to get started. That's what we're up to. And the first episode is going to be that transmission. I'm going to start working on that. So wish me luck. It's going to be fun. And I'm excited. Hopefully you are too. Thanks for watching.